Here we're going to go over the installation of the new JLT Cold Air Intake for your 2019 Pacific Trackhawk.
Alright, we're going to need to remove our factory air box. So we're going to unplug our intake air temp sensor to suppress this gray tab. And then this Pcv solenoid, there's a security tab you need to pull out. And then squeeze it, and that will remove. And then on the PCV connection, there's a button on each side of it. You just squeeze both buttons and pop that right off. Next, you can grab your nut driver. It's either 5/16 or 8mm. And remove your clamp at your throttle body. That off. We're going to need to remove this solenoid from this factory air box. There are 3 plastic welded rivets. There's a couple different ways to get these off. Probably the easiest way would be with this an X-Acto knife. Just take it and slide it under those welds. That will pop that, and you can already see that's loose. You may be also to drill this, but the razor knife works pretty well. Always point the razor away from you. So all 3 of those have popped up. That pulls out. I'm going to go and remove the rest of the factory air box. Go and pull your filter out. And then the air box is literally just pulls up. It's in 3 rubber grommets. So just give it a quick pull. On this lower section, you're going to need to remove this. This will pull right out, but there is one clip on a wiring harness that is holding it down. So you can use a long pair of needle nose to work that out, like so.
Okay.
And this push pin that's holding in your washer tank, you need to pop out, grab a flathead screwdriver, and work that pin out. Pull that all the way out. Set that to... Alright, this upper radiator hose, you'll see that the spring clamp is actually facing the driver's side fender. We're going to need to rotate that up 90 degrees to... It's hot because you can spray hot coolant all over yourself. I'm going to put a rag down here to try to catch anything that will drip. There shouldn't be a lot of coolant that will drip out, just maybe a couple drips. We're going to get that, squeeze that clamp, and rotate it around. Like so. We're going to grab your heat shield. This front tab is going to align with the push pin that you pulled out earlier of the washer tank. Slide that down around your evap line. And the shield is going to catch this stud. So now we're going to reinstall our push pin. Align your shield in the washer tank to get your pin started. Try to get that seated as much as you can and start to push the pin in. This will be very, very tight because it's going through twice the material. You may want to grab a little tool to hammer that in, which we're grabbing a little hammer here. She's in. Complete your shield installation with this little button head cap we have for this exposed stud. Just push it right on. Alright, for your 2019 Trackhawk, you're going to have this mounting bracket for your Pcv solenoid you removed earlier. You're going to slide your bracket in like so and rotate it around. Next, you're going to use your mounting screws and bolt. tighten these up. Grab your wrench, screwdriver, just snug them up. All right, this O-ring here, we're actually going to squeeze and remove and just push it up. And the reason we're doing this is that if you ever go back to stock, you don't lose your O-ring. It's there. Next, grab your PCV line that was included in your kit for your 2019. We already lubricated this hose for this video, but this hose will come dry to you. You can use grease, oil, Dawn dish soap, anything for lubrication to help you push this onto this fitting. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to remove this shock tower nut. We're going to grab our pre-assembled solenoid hose and bracket, and I'm going to show you how to get this in here. You're going to push the hose down into it, twist your bracket and solenoid down under the AC line. And we're going to go under this brake booster line and up and over the stud. Spin your nut back on. Just do this hand tight for now because we might need to adjust this bracket. This PCV line will rotate on the valve cover. It's also like a corrugated accordion hose, so it's made to flex. It will not kink. So we'll need to reinstall this fitting onto this solenoid. You'll get a click once it's seated. Take your electrical connection and make sure you push in your security tab. Once that's where it wants to be, your ratchet, socket, and extension. Go and lock this bracket down. We're going to get our tube ready for installation. So included in your package was a gasket and an IAT plate, 4 screws. So go and get those lined up. Onto your tube, Phillips head screwdriver, and I like to get them all a little started before I tighten any of them down. Go corner to corner. Once you know they're all started, go ahead and snug them up. From your factory tube, you're going to need to remove this intake air temperature sensor. So just grab it and twist to remove it. I'm going to loosely install the hose clamps onto the coupler, install the coupler onto the tube at the vehicle. Start the tube through the heat shield, working it towards the throttle body. Once you've worked the coupler onto the throttle body, you may need to twist the coupler one way and twist the tube the other, or a combination of them both. Just leave your clamps loose until you get it how you want it, and then just tighten one at a time. I'm going to tighten your throttle body side first. And the tube side, make sure the coupler's pretty even all the way around it. Tighten that up. Now this AC line that's running to the front, reach your hand under the tube and make sure you at least have an air gap there. If it is touching the tube, there's a bracket up front that's just aluminum, and you can give that bracket just a little tweak and push that down just ever so slightly to give you some more space. It is helpful to lube up this O-ring so it slides right into that. so. Just give it a half a twist and it'll lock right in place. Grab your PCV hose, go ahead and lube up your grommet so this fitting will press into it nice and easy, like so. Finish up your tube here, reconnect your IAT plug. Last step, we're going to install our filter. Go on, open that up. Last step, you're going to grab your filter, pivot that around to install on your tube.